The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
I hope everyone is able to hear me. Let me know if any issues. Okay, so I am into the detail map, and here you can see this is the plot records card. We have kept it similar so that all of the users will be finding it easier to use. And so here we'll start with the first option, which is the plot records card. So here you can see that the first option is by location. So by location basically allows you to visualize all of your dynamic CRM data simply based on the addresses into the records. So here you can see this is the list of the entities. So here you can see all of the entities that you have within your system. So if you have any custom entities, you can have those listed over here as well. So here I'm choosing accounts as an example, and here you will be able to see all of the views that you have within your CRM. So you will be getting the personal views, the system views, the dashboards, and the marketing list. Okay, so here let me choose one of the personal views that I have created. Okay, and here I'll click on go. So here you will be able to see all of the records that have been plotted using the search criteria by location. Okay, so here if you single tap on any record, you will be able to see the hover data on that record. And if you double tap on any record, you will be able to see this tooltip card opened up at the bottom. So here this is configurable. As you know, within the settings you can add more details to the hover or the click. Now here you can see several options are there. You can add the record location as the current location, or you can choose to perform these tooltip card actions on the respective record as well. If you want to go back to the map, you can simply tap outside on the map, and you'll be able to close the tooltip card over here. Now let's see some more functions over here. So here you can see there's an option to select the category as well. Let's say I'll go for industry, and here I'll click on go. So here you can see this is the push pins have changed into various colors and shapes. So this is because I have selected category to be the industry. Okay, so here you can see at the left hand side, left top, you will be able to see two buttons. So here if I go for the second button, this is the category card. Okay, so here you can see all of these categories over here. You will be able to see which push pin is representing which of the categories, and you can just drag this card up and down as per your requirement. Okay, so here you will be able to see both the maps as well as the category card together, so as to compare which push pin represents which of the category. Now if I want to go back to the map again, I can simply click outside on the map, and the card will get closed. Now, if I click on the topmost button at the left hand side, which is the layer menu, if you have plotted all of the any of the layers that you have plotted on the maps, you will be able to see those layers listed on this card over here. So you can choose this toggle button to see show and hide the data that you have plotted on the map. Okay, now here let's go back to the search, and I am able to open the card again. So if you click on search again, the card will get closed. You can click on search again to card or to open the plot cards. Now let's go ahead for the next feature, next search criteria, which is the by region. So here you will be able to plot the regions that you want. So here you can see multiple regions options are there, like postal code, city, state, country, whatever you want. So here, let's say I'll go for the postal, let's say I'll go for the state over here, and here I'll just put some states over here. Okay, so here let me put some value. So here I'll just put some states. Okay, and I'll put country. So here now I can click on go. This will plot the respective states that I have selected, I've given the value for, and it will plot the respective records that belong to those states. Right, again you can hover or single click to see the hover, or double click to see the data into the tooltip card. So this was by region option, and similarly you have this by template option as well. So by template will help you to save your time a lot. If you want to search something very frequently, you can search it once and then save it as a template and then use the template directly. So here I am into by template. I've selected the template over here and I'll click on go. So this will plot the respective template directly on the map. So this will save your time. Now here at the right top corner, you also have this option of road or aerial. If you want to change the map of map mode over here, you can do so. And here you can, the next button is for the my location. If you want to click on that to fetch your current location, you will be able to do so over here. And the third button is for the refreshing. If you want to refresh the map, you'll be able to do so with the refresh map button. Okay, now here we also have this POI location. So POI location is very helpful while your the field rep team is out on the field. If they want to search for all of the locations that are within the nearby set surroundings, so they can search for that. So before that, let's see the directions. So that will be more relevant while you are searching the POI locations along with the directions. So let's go for the directions first. Okay, so what I'll do is that I'll plot some records over here. So here I'll just choose one of the personal views. So just like earlier, you will be able to create a route for yourself but via the map itself. So here you can just right click means you have to long press on the push pin. So that will be a right click. So you can just long press on the push pin and add them to the route. So this will allow you to add the records to the route over here. So just like that, you can just add some more records over here to the route, and here you can see into the direction card. So you can see at the bottom you have directions written over here. I can click on directions and the card will get opened. So you can see based on the records that you have selected, all of those records have been added here as waypoints. Now here if I click on options, you will be able to see all of these options. You can, let me just reconnect again. Okay, so here you can see all of these options. You can choose whether you want to optimize your direction, the route based on shortest time or shortest distance. If you want to avoid toll roads, avoid highways, if you want to see the traffic on the map, you can do so. So these are the options. You can click on go to get the optimized route created based on the selected records that you have done for the respective record route. Right. So this is the route that you have created. Now you can also save this route. So you have the save button. You can just give it a name, select the date over here, and you will be able to select yourself, or let's say if you want to create the route for your subordinate or a colleague, will be able to do so right from the map. Now here, once you have created the route, you will be able to navigate to the respective route as well. So here you can see the route has been, the links to the route has been shown over here. So if you click on these links, this will show you the turn by turn directions within the Google Maps by default. So we also support two more applications for navigation, which is the Apple Maps or the Waze app, WAZE. So if you want, every Maplytics user can select their preferred app in order to navigate themselves. So you can see the complete route, or you can see the parts of the route like A to B, B to C, like that. So this is how you navigate yourself to the respective route that you have created on the map. Now here within the options you also have this along the route. So along the route, as the name suggests, it will give you the data that falls along the route within a specific distance from the route. So default distance which was fetched from the settings, the configuration detail record of the respective login user is zero point 0.5. You can surely change that. Okay, so this means that this will basically filter all of the records that belong to zero point 0.5 miles of distance from the route. So this gives a relevant data while the salesperson or the field rep person is outside on the field. If they have some, if they are facing some situations which they didn't plan for. For example, they have some spare time because of finishing a meeting earlier, or let's say any meeting got cancelled. In that case, they will be able to search for the nearby records using this along the route option over here. So you can see the rest all of the records have disappeared. Only those records that have been very closely existing have been appearing over here using the feature of along the route. Okay, so here now that you have some records, you can just add some more records and you will be able to add an extra record to the route. Now, let's say you do not find many records into the surroundings. So in that case, you can choose another feature which is called the proximity search. Okay, so here let's say you are somewhere over B point. Now here you want to search for more records. So you can just long press on the B point and set it as current location. And here you can see the current location has been set. And now you can put the respective radii that you want. So here let's say I'll just put 200 and 300 over here. You can at a max you can put two radii, sorry, three radii as well as decimals up to two places. So here you can see based on the two radii that I have entered, you have got two circles plotted on the map. Okay, so here you can first of all just by looking at it, you are able to understand which of the clients are near or far from the current location. Okay, apart from this, if you single click on any particular question, you can see the hover data where it shows the very important information, which is the line of sight distance. So line of sight distance is the straight line distance from the current location to each of the push pins over here. Right. So here you can see the line of sight distance. Moreover, if in case you want to travel to any particular push pin, the line of sight distance won't be the practical distance, right? Which is why we have given this option of show travel distance. So I can choose the show travel distance and click on go. Now this will calculate the shortest travel distance from the current location to each of the push pins. So this will now give you two distances, the shortest travel distance and the straight line distance, both from the current location to each of the push pins. So this will help your salesperson to see if there are any records, clients that are within the vicinity, and they will be able to see which of the clients are most closer to you, and then you will be able to add those as an extra record to the route. So this is now calculating the shortest time or the shortest travel to each of the push pins over here. So this is why it is taking a bit of time. So this will plot both of the distances, that is shortest travel time and the straight line distance as well as on the same card. So here you can see if I now hover on any push pin or if I double click on any push pins, you can see the tooltip card. It will show you the line of sight distance as well as the shortest travel distance both on the same card. So this is how you will be able to understand which push pin is near or far in terms of traveling to those push pins, and you can add more records to the route. Now talking about the other feature that we left earlier, which is the POI, the point of interest location. So here for point of interest location, first you have to select a location for basically the center point. So you can just right click anywhere on the map and set it as POI location. So here now you have these icons over here. You can select any icon to see the respective locations on the map. So here, if you, let's say a salesperson wants to grab some lunch, or if you want to, let me just try it again. So if the salesperson wants to grab some lunch over here, or let's say you want to, I'll just choose another location over here. So here, let's say any if a salesperson wants to search for any cafe nearby, or let's say get the fuel refilled into their vehicles, so they can search for the respective locations on the map. So you can see the data coming up on the map. These are the geotagged map locations. So here you can also add these locations as a waypoint into the respective record as well, the route as well. And here you can also create a record for this particular POI location as well if that's required. So this is how you will be able to use this Maplytics UI over here. And I hope this you find it easier to use. You can just go ahead and upgrade to the latest solution, and you'll be able to use the Maplytics latest mobile UI into your instance as well. Now let's move on to the next feature that we have listed for today, which is the comparison of the actual versus proposed route. So now, what is the use of this feature? Many of the people who have the whole rep team going out on the field, in that case, they will be able to, if in case they compensate the respective rep team for the traveling they have done on the field. So for that purpose, they will be able to search for the respective data on how much how much distance or time they have actually spent on the field. So here what I have done is that I have gone to the activity entity. I have opened one route record. Okay, so here I simply plot the route record on the map. Now while the salesperson is out on the field following some route, they will be able to plot the route on the map, and they can redirect themselves for the turn by turn directions. So here you can see the navigation button. So if I click on this navigation button, you can see the card looks a bit different. Why? Because we have added an additional button over here, start trip. Okay, so you can start this trip over here, and once you are going for the respective meeting, and once the salesperson has ended their meeting, they can come back and they will be able to stop the trip, right? So this is how they will be able to do so for all of the routes, all of the meetings they have gone for. So this is how what happens in the backend is that with the use of the feature of real-time tracking, you will be able to, as an Maplytics will be able to track the locations of the respective salesperson who is out on the field, and this will help them to track the respective distance and the time they have spent on the meeting. So this was the the mobile side of the data. So I'll just show you the data into the CRM. So here, once the salesperson has started and ended the trip using the button we have provided into the route, so the reporting managers can come up to the activity entity. They will be able to open the respective route record into the CRM, and you will be able to see these data. Right. So here you can see estimated travel distance and estimated travel time. These are the estimated distance and travel time that was supposed to be traveled by the salesperson based on the route that was assigned to the salesperson. Now, similarly, you can see two more distance and actual travel time columns over here. Fine. So here, what is the difference over here? The estimated travel distance, it was assigned. It was supposed to be traveled by the salesperson. Now, actual distance is the distance that was actually traveled by the salesperson. So there might be situations where there are differences into the estimated travel distance and actual travel distance. And similarly, there might be situations where estimated travel time and actual travel time might not be the same. So in this case, you'll be able to get these information about how much travel distance and how, how much travel time was spent on the field by your field rep team. And using this, you'll be able to calculate the compensation that you have to give in order to give them the fair charge that they have based on the distance and the time they have traveled on the field. So this is how all of the organizations who have a whole rep team traveling on the field, and the organizations compensate them with the money that based on the distance and time they have spent on the field. This information will help them to calculate the respective compensation that they have to give on the field. Okay, now let's move on to the next feature that we have listed for today, which is the multiple data source support. So here I'll go to the detailed map. So here earlier we had a limitation of having at a max of three entities plotting together. Now we have removed that limitation. So now you will be able to plot multiple data sources, multiple entities all together into the same map. So here let's start with the accounts, and here I'll just plot some personal view, and here you can see you can add some more entities over here. So here let's say I'll go for contact, and here let's say I'll go for leads and opportunity, and let's say I'll go for the cases. So here I have selected five data sources over here, and if I click on search, all of these five data sources will be plotted together. So which means that if you want to search for multiple data sources, and you want to drill down into multiple data sources together on the same map, so you will be able to do so with this feature of multiple entities that can be plotted together on the same map. So here if you see the layer menu, you can see all of the five entities have been plotted on the map, and you can also change, you can also see all of these pushpins which are representing the respective entities over here. So these pushpins will be helping you to read respective entities that you have plotted on. So you can toggle between these data that you have plotted, and you will be able to so you will be able to show and hide the data on the map as well. So this is how you will be able to plot multiple data, and you will be able to drill down between multiple data entities all together on the same map. Now let's move on to the fourth feature we have listed for today, which is the STD support. So let me just refresh the map. Now here, all of the organizations who use the SD account, so in that case, they will be able to support, integrate the SD account within Maplytics now, and you will be able to see the ArcGIS files on the map. So here, I can go for this Maplytics app and then settings and the Maplytics configuration detail record. Okay, so here you can see one of the record doesn't have its user. I'm talking about this user which does not have this record, which does not have its user. This record is basically for the admin purpose. This is the default configuration detail record. Okay, so here I am into the default configuration detail record, and here you can see this tab for ArcGIS. So here you can see all of these details, credentials that you have for the SD account. You can configure these credentials over here, and this is how you configure this SD account within Maplytics. Once you have done that, you can go to the plot record section, and you have the feature of overlay. So here you can see now you are able to see three options over here. Earlier we had only two options, territory and files. Now you have the third option, which is the ArcGIS. So you can select this third option, and here you will be able to access all of the ArcGIS files that you have within your S3 account. So here, let's say I'll choose one of the files over here, and here you can further use the category attribute as well if you want. You can choose some of the attributes to be shown on the summary as well. So here I have chosen one of the files that I have into my S3 account, and you can see this is an Australian shapefile. So here I can just click on any particular region and this will show me the respective attributes from that particular file from my SD account. Okay, so here let's say I'll move ahead for some more files. So we also support the polyline files and polypoint files as well. So let's say I'll choose some of the other examples. So this is one of the polyline files that is supported, and you will be able to see this. You can see this line. This is the polyline file that we have. And similarly, we also support this push pin layers as well. So here I have an example configured into here. So if I click on search, you can see these push pins over here. So this is the push pin layers that are supported. So this is how, if you have S3 account already in place, so you can just configure S3 account within Maplytics, and you will be able to you will be able to access sorry, all of the ArcGIS files that you have within your S3 account. Now let's move on to the second last feature, which is the auto scheduling. So let me refresh this map. So auto scheduling is basically the automated version of the routing optimization that you just saw into the mobile UI. So auto scheduling will help you to create schedules automatically for the whole team. So you can also create multi-user team for multiple days as well. Okay, so the main benefit of using auto scheduling is you will be able to select some preferences as well for the respective users. So let's say I'll just go for some of the push pins. I'll just select some of the push pins using the file drawing option. I'm filtering these push pins. So you can see these push pins have been filtered. And now let's say I'll go for the view data grid. These are 18 push pins. Now within the mass actions, I have this option of auto scheduling. I can just click on auto scheduling option, and you can see this will consider all of these push pins that I have just plotted on the map, and it will lead me to the auto scheduling section. So here, like I said, this will allow you to select preferences for the respective team that you are doing for. So here you can see this is the auto scheduling card that helps you to select the preferences. So here you can select when the schedule should be started, and you can select the respective users over here. So these are the reps, the field rep team or the sales rep team. You can choose them. So here you can, I have selected two salesperson. You can select the multiple resources or multiple salesperson over here. Now here you can select the period over here, which means that if you have a lot of records and you want your field rep team to go and meet all of those people, or let's say give services to all of those people, so that can be covered into more than a day as well. So you can choose the period for the schedule. Now here you can select the duration for each of the meetings. Let's say I'll choose 45 minutes, and here you can select the start time, the end time, the break time within the day, and the break duration for the reps who are out on the who will be going out of the field. Now lastly we have this buffer time. Buffer time is basically gets added to each of the schedules that make sure that your rep is on time for the particular meeting. Now here we also have this option of selecting which day your field rep team will be working. Now here there's one more very important feature over here, which is the ability of considering the existing meetings, which means that if there are any existing appointments already created for the reps that you have selected over here, those will also get considered over here, which means that auto scheduling will consider whether your users are available or not at a certain point of time. Now here I am into the advanced preferences. Okay, so here this is the card, and this will give you some more details about the users and the respective meetings. So here you can see user details, and both of the users that I had selected over here has been selected over here. So here here you can see origin and destination. So you might be familiar of the abilities that we gave into Maplytics to select the default origin and destination. So this is very handy feature which where the salesperson or the service person, while they are out on the field, in case they start and end their day on the same locations every day, they can select the default origin and destination locations. So you can also change this. So here this details get fetched right from their configuration detail record. Okay. Now here you can select the number of meetings per day. So here let's say I'll go for 4, and here I'll explain this in a while. Now here you will be able to see the respective meeting details. These are nothing but the records on which I'm running this auto. Okay, so I can just put some value over here, and I'll be able to filter my data if I want. And further, if I don't want to consider any, I can deselect some records right from here. Let's say I have different types of meetings, different types of services that I'm handling. If there will be different durations that will be taken by the services, so here you can change the respective durations for the individual meetings or the services that you are working for. Now, last tab is existing meeting. Existing meetings are the list of the appointments or the bookable resource bookings that were created for the respective salesperson already into the CRM. So this is how these are the appointments that have already been created. In case of field service, the bookable resource bookings will be listed over here, which means that auto scheduling will be already know that where in what point of time the selected sales rep or the resource is busy at what point of time. Now, here the two options that we left earlier. So the rescheduling this existing meeting means if it's okay to make the changes to the existing appointments, which means that let's say changing the owner or changing the due date of the appointments, so you can set it as yes. If it's not okay to make any changes, so you can just set it as no. Now, what is continuous schedule? Continuous schedule means if you want to, if your rep team is supposed to go back to the origin of the day, so in that case you can just go for no, which means that the sales rep or the service rep is every day is supposed to go back to the origin in order, let's say, go back to the office to report their activities within the day. If it's not the usual case, if your rep team doesn't need to go back to the origin, you can just keep it as yes, which means that this is not a this is a continuous schedule if you keep it as yes, which means that the rep team doesn't have to go back to the origin every day. Now you have selected these preferences, and now you can click on go. Let me just deselect just to make it quicker, and here I'll click on proceed. Now, what this will do, this will consider all of these preferences that you have selected into the settings, and it will consider the proximity of the records along with the records from the location of the sales rep, and it will give you the most optimized schedule for the reps that you have selected to make it ensure that the reps are traveling the least amount of time on the map. So this is now calculating the proximities and checking which question is near to which of the sales rep, and it will give you the most optimized schedule for both of the users over there. So here you can use this for the field service as well. You'll be able to select the resources. You'll be able to select the preferences to create a schedule for your field service team, as well as create a bookable resource bookings for the field service team as well. So here you can see the routes have been created, and you can see some differences, some different UI over here. This is the latest edition that we have done into our latest release of January, where you will be able to see more informative UI over here. So you can see the calendar based format. So here you can see both of the reps have been listed over here. I can see this legend card that will show me which color represents which of the rep over here. So I can go for the next day for Robert, and you can see this is the day for Robert, and you can see all of the appointments that have been selected for, created for Robert, and the respective details will be shown into this summary trip summary as well. Now here you can also click on the next button, the arrow down arrow, to see the respective turn by turn directions on the respective card as well. Now you can see the day options. You can go to the next day and you will be able to see how does the next day look like for Robert. And similarly, you can go ahead for changing the respective rep and see the schedule for the other rep as well. And similarly, you can go for the week-based calendar as well. So you can see the week. You'll be able to see how does this week look like for both of the users over here. So you can switch between the users and you'll be able to see the respective week over here. Now here you can see the legend has changed. This is showing me which color is representing which week for the respective user that you have selected. And respective summary will be shown into this trip summary card where you'll be able to see all of these appointments and the turn by turn directions along with it. So this is how you can use this auto scheduling to create the schedule. Now this schedule has not been saved into the CRM yet. To save it, you can click on create. And here you will be able to select the options. You can select the appointments, the service activities, as well as bookable resource bookings within the field service CRM. So here you can select the appointments, select the subject, select the start date, end date, and the priority over here, and you will be able to click on create job. All of these schedules that you have created, as well as the appointments that you are using of auto scheduling, will be saved under the activity entity, where the field rep team can go to the activity and they will to see the respective data of the routes and the appointments that have been assigned to them. So here you can see I can just filter these activities over here for the appointments and the routes that have been assigned. So here you can just go for the respective team will be going for this activity entity within the mobile or the tablet and access all of the routes and appointments have been given to them. Apart from this, within the field service CRM, if you are using auto scheduling, you'll be able to create the routes as well as bookable resource bookings. Moreover, you'll be able to see the bookable resource booking shown on the schedule board as well. Okay, so this was the feature of auto scheduling that will help you to see the to create the automated schedule day as for your whole field rep team that can be created for more than a well. So here, let's go for the last feature, which is the territory management. So here, territory management is allowed for helps you to create the territories or based on the respective records that you have within your CRM as well. So you can see several options are given for the territory management. Let's go for the first option, which is by file. So here, the by file files are basically the shape files or the Excel files that provide the information on the region boundaries. Okay, so here, let's say I'll go for this particular file, and here you can see supported file formats are there. You can plot these files as well. So here I will click ask you to confirm, and this file will get plotted on the map. So the use of plotting the file is that it will plot multiple regions all together very quickly. Moreover, you will be able to create multiple territories using these files. So you can see I can select these regions, right click on them, and I can create the territories out of them. If I want, I can multi-select these regions and I'll be able to create territories for multiple regions as well. Right. So this is how you can create multiple territories right from the file option over here. Now here, what I'll do is that another feature which I was talking about earlier, which is creating the territories based on the records that you have within the respective regions. So here, let me plot some records. And here you can see some records fall into these regions that I have plotted. Okay. What I'll do is that I want to create the territories from these regions and I want to create it automatically based on the distribution of these records. So what I need to do is that I have to select these regions for which I have to create the territories, and these regions will get selected. And now I'll just right click on selected option and selected a region. And here we have this option of multiple territories. So let's say I'll go for three. I'll just put three. So which means that let's say I have three salesperson or three field person. I can put three over here, and it will calculate the count of records that exist into these regions, and it will give you three territories created on the map. So you can see three territories have been created, and you can see three are listed over here. You can change this name of the territory as well. And here you can select the respective users from the list over here, right from the map. So which means that you'll be able to assign these territories to the respective territory managers right from the map. Moreover, you will be able to change the color of the territories right from the map. Right now, if you're okay with these territories, you can click on create, and this will allow you to create all of these territories within the CRM. Moreover, after this creation, it will also ask you whether you want to assign these territories to the respective records as well. So within a few clicks, you are able to create territories, multiple territories based on the automatic distribution of the records that you have within your CRM, as well as within one click, you are able to assign these territories to the respective records as well. Okay, now let's say you want to spend some more time on these territories. So you can save these territories as a draft, come back later and plot the same draft territory on the map, and you will be able to start your work right where you left earlier. The last option is realignment. It means that let's say you have changed your mind, and you, let's say, more people have joined to the team, and you want more number of territories over here. So let's say I change the number over here, and I'll click on proceed. So this will recalculate the count of records, and it will give you four territories based on the count that I have entered. So here you can see again four territories have been listed over here. You can change the color of the territories right from the map, and if I want, I can give the respective territory managers right from the map as well. Now, if you are okay with these territories, you will be able to create those territories into the CRM. So this was the automatic territory creation. Apart from this, we also have this option of creating the territories using by region and by zone as well. So here I'll just choose some options. So here you can see by region, we have several options over here. I can plot any particular region over here. Let's say I'll go for the respective states. Okay, and I'll put the value and the country, and I'll click on plot. This will plot the respective states on the map, and similarly you select them, right click on it, and create a territory of it. Similarly, you have this by drawing option, so you will be able to create these territories using by drawing option as well. You can just draw a shape on the map like this, and you will be able to select these shapes and create territories out of it. Now here you can also select the respective multiple shapes over here and create territories. So you can notice that your territories could be a combination of the by drawing as well as by region as well. Moreover, it can be a combination of by file as well. So it could be a combination of all of these three options that you have selected, that you have within your territory management. Now here you can also align your territory, which means that you can adjust the regions within the territories. So here, let's say I'll go for the territories over here. So here, let me select the territories. Okay, so here I'll select some of the territories over here. So here, so I have plotted some of the territories that I've already created into the CRM. So what does it mean by aligning these territories? It means that you will be able to you will be able to align these territories, as which means that you will be able to adjust the regions that you have within the territories. So here you can see multiple territories have been plotted on the map, And you can also notice that these territories are overlapping on each other, which means that overlapping territories or the hierarchical territories is also supported within Maplytics. So you can choose these territories and you will be able to use the option of move to and copy to. So here if I select move to and I select another territory over here, and I'll be able to click on proceed. So this will mean that this particular territory will be moved to another territory that you have selected. And this particular region will be removed from the current territory because it was a move to. Now, similarly, you have this copy option. You will be able to copy a region from one territory to another territory if you want, and you can click on proceed. So this will mean that this region will get copied to another territory that you have selected, and it will remain into the current territory as well because it was a copy to option. Okay, so this is how you can align your territories as per your requirement. Now here you can further use this option of overlay. So overlay, as the name suggests, you will be able to add some more layers of data on the map. So here you can choose, let's say I'll go for one of the files that I have. So this is a demographic file. What is demographic file? It means that it will give you the census data of the population. So you can have your own file as well saved into the territory entity in order to use those files to be shown on the map. So here one of the census data file that I have. So you can see this has been categorized based on the population, which means that I can figure out which of the regions into the market have the most of the populations. So I can choose to use this file in order to create territories. I can use the multiple regions to create the territories for those regions, which means that you will be able to focus on the target audience that are within the market based on any particular demographics information that you have. For example, gender, income level, or the range of the population, range of the ages. So you can use these census files in order to know more about the market regions, know more about the demographics of the audience, the population that are within the regions, and you will be able to create your territories using these files as well. So this was the overlay feature which was into the territory management. And once you have created these territories using the territory management application, so here you will be able to plot all of those territories using the by territory option over here. So here I can just choose to select these territories and I select a view, and this will plot all of these territories along with the respective records that have been assigned with those territories. So this is how once you have created the territories, the respective rep team can see those territories plotted on the map, as well as they will be able to understand which of the clients they are responsible for. They can click on the respective territory to see the summary card for that particular territory as well. Now they can go ahead and use the territories to see their clients and see know more about their clients and go ahead to create the route for themselves. They can see the summary card will give you very important information about what is the performance of the respective territories. So this is how you will be able to see which territory is performing better. So this was all about the features that we have listed for today. Now let's move on to a little poll that I have created. So you'll be able to just use the poll. Just a second, I'll just start a poll. You can just vote for the most important feature that you found the most useful to you. So you can just vote for it. So I'll just wait for a few seconds and you can just vote for the most features that you think will be the most useful to you. So please vote for the features that you found the most useful. So I'll be waiting for a few seconds more. You can just vote for the features that you think will be most useful. If you are any existing users, you can tell me which of the features are you using already the most. And if you want to ask more questions, you can just type it in the chat window, so that because we are moving ahead for the Q&A sessions in a few seconds. So I'll be closing this poll within 10 or 15 seconds. You can just vote in. So please vote for the features that you found the most useful, or if you are already using these features. Okay, so I'm closing this poll within a few seconds. Okay, I hope everyone has voted. I'm closing the poll now. Okay, then let's just go for the Q&A session, and you can type in your questions if you have any, so that I can answer it for you. Jonathan has asked how many data sources can you plot. So yeah, we have removed the limitation of the number of data sources that you can plot. So you can plot multiple data sources now. You can just try as many data sources that you want, and you will be able to plot those on the map. Brad has asked, can I configure S3 files as per my requirement? Yeah, within the S3 account, you do have this option of configuring there itself as per your requirement. So whatever you have configured over there, that will be shown as a file within the option of overlay within the Maplytics itself. So you will be able to access your configured file as well that you have configured into the S3 account. Please type in if you have any questions so that I can answer it. Eric has asked how can we get turn by turn navigation. So yeah, so for navigation, whenever you have created a route, you can plot those routes on the map. And there's a little arrow button at the direction card itself. So you can just click on the arrow button and you will be getting the links to the navigations. Now we have three applications supporting it: the Apple Maps, the Waze app, as well as the Apple Maps, Waze app, as well as the Google Maps. So here you will be able to access all of those navigation apps. All of the Maplytics users will be have the freedom to select their own preferred app. Mark has asked in PY, can I search restaurant? How can I get list of locations? Yeah, so into the PY, you can also search for the restaurant. There's a little icon for restaurants as well on the same page. Along with that, into the others option, if you go, you will be able to see a list of options, list of locations there. So you'll be able to access all of those locations. If in case you're not finding any particular location that you are looking for, you will be able to enter your keyword as well, and it will give you the result based on that particular keyword. Rob has asked if auto scheduling works with work order. Yeah, like I said, within the field service CRM as well, you will be able to use auto scheduling. You will be able to plot the work orders, and you can run auto scheduling on the work orders in order to schedule them, create a schedule based for the resources that you have selected. So it will give you the optimized schedule with the routes as well as bookable resource created, the bookable resource bookings created for the same schedule. Anna has asked, can I create territory using postal code and assign them to appropriate account record? Yes, you can create the territories based on any regions, postal code, city, state, county, country, and you will be able to create them as a territory. And you can also, we also have this territory assignment workflow. Using that, you will be able to assign the territories to the respective records of the account or any other entity. By default, the territory assignment workflow is available for accounts entity only. You will be able to create the territory assignment workflow for the other entities as well. Also, while your records are getting created, or let's say you are making any changes to the records, the territory assignment process will run automatically in order to assign the newly created records or the newly updated records. So Mike has asked, in actual and proposed route, is actual route means the route traveled by the person in real time. Yes, so actual and proposed route is a feature that will help you to give the actual information about the route that was traveled by the respective person. And you can also see those routes plotted on the map as well. So while you open the route record, you will be having a small arrow button over there. You can just click on arrow button and it will plot both of the routes, the route that was assigned to them as well as the route which was actually traveled by the person in reality. So this gives you the real time information, the actual information about the travel time and the travel distance that was taken by the respective rep on the field. So please type in if you have any questions. So I have also listed down a few questions over here. Do we need to purchase Big Map licenses separately? So with Maplytics, you do not need that. You will be able to get the Big Maps included within the license whenever I will issue the license for you. So Big Map license will be included within it. With Microsoft Dynamics products do you support? So we support the Microsoft Dynamics CRM, the on-premise, online, as well as ISV, and we also support the Power Apps, the Dataverse as well. What are your support hours? So the support hours are 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. IST. However, we extend our hours or as well because we do have clients all over the globe. So we support the US time as well, the Europe time as well as the Australian time as well. And we haven't really received any complaints regarding the support. So you will not face any issues with that. Can I create overlapping territories for my sales team and service team? Yes. So if you have the need of creating the territories overlapping on each other, basically creating multiple territories for the same location that is supported into Maplytics, you'll be able to create the multiple territories for the same location. You'll be able to plot those territories overlapping on each other as well. Can I plot records from multiple entities on the same map? Yeah, so like you saw into the picture, multiple data support. So you will be able to plot multiple entities all together on the same map. Can we use Maplytics in mobile to view the route and follow it? So you can use latest mobile UI to visualize all of your dynamic CRM data on the map. You can create the route, visualize your route, and follow the route using the turn-by-turn directions. You can see the proximity search and much more. You can just download the Microsoft Dynamics app for phones or the Microsoft Dynamics CS app from the Play Store or the App Store, and you will be able to enter your credentials of the CRM to log into your CRM, and you'll be able to use Maplytics just the way I have shown it on this webinar. So you can just type in if you have any questions so that I can answer it for you. So I guess I have answered all of the questions. Uh, so here we have also listed a few case studies from our very valuable customers that we have. One of them is the reemployability. This basically works for the return to work program where they work for getting the most light duties which are within the close vicinity of the injured workers. So they use Maplytics based in order to search for the light duty assignments that are within the close vicinity of the injured workers, and they will be assigning them these light duty assignments to the injured workers in order to help them to return to work. Likewise, you can go ahead go to our website to view all of the case studies and the testimonials that we have from our valuable clients and partners. So if you are new to Maplytics, you can just go to our website or Microsoft AppSource in order to download the latest solution, the latest upgraded solution of Maplytics, and you will be able to use the latest features that we have added into our latest release. And you can just mail me at crm@inovic.com if you need any help or need to have a customized demo as per your requirement. So thank you so much for joining this webinar, and we'll be meeting into another webinar after a few months when we have a